This is everything I made in 2025. Hey guys, I just wanted to preface that it is such a gloomy day today, so there's not much natural light, and also I woke up feeling sick, but I really wanted to film this video today so I could edit it and get it out, so I'm gonna persevere. So I'm just gonna film today. So this is everything I made in 2025, well, most things. This is my second full year knitting, and I love making sweaters, so that's the majority of things I have here. So let's just get into it. Here's my first sweater. This is I want to call this the Amy cardigan, but Ava cardigan. This is the Ava cardigan. I called this my birthday sweater because I wanted to knit it to get it done on my birthday last year. My birthday's in January. This is with the SUNNYSIDE Tutti Frutti, I believe. I have mixed feelings about this because the Tutti Frutti picture, I ordered this yarn online, and the picture they had for this colorway had like more like different colored specks in there. I feel like it was more like there was like greens and pinks. So when it came in, I was a little disappointed. This actually did not take me very long to do. I remember wanting to knit up a skein every day when I was knitting this, and I think I pretty much did that, and it probably took like 12 skeins, so this probably took me 12 days. There's a lot of mixed feelings I have about this sweater, and one of them is I have a hard time wearing it. I think it looks good with these pants, but I don't know if this color looks very good on me. I don't know, like I don't really wear a lot of things in this color. Another thing is something seems off about the fit. I don't know. Maybe I should just try and over dye this one, and I think I'd like it more. Also, it's a SUNNYSIDE Pure Gint, and I find this yarn to be like so itchy. Right now as I'm wearing it, it's not feeling that itchy, but when I've worn it in the past, I felt like as the day goes on, I just get like more and more bothered by the itch from this. So yeah, this is one of the ones that I'm not too sure about. Also, the buttons are not the same because when I was finishing the buttons, I went to Joann before they were closing, and they didn't have very many options. So there's kind of some mismatch buttons on this, but it's not too noticeable, and it's kind of like fun. I went through a Baba dupe craze in 2025. I really want to buy a Baba, but I just would rather make some myself because I can knit. Like, I just don't want to pay for a sweater. I don't know. So here's the start to my Baba dupes. This is a pattern by Ozetta. It's based off the Miles shirt jacket by Ozetta, but this, if you know that pattern, you know this looks nothing like that. The Miles shirt jacket is like a longer jacket, and it has like a curve to the hem, and then there's also big pockets on the front. But I wanted to make this Baba dupe. I think it's the number 51. I could be wrong about that, but which I do really like this. I think it's a great dupe. Here, I'll try it on. I don't know if it fits me as well as it fits the model on the Baba website, but I do really love this, and the yarn just looks so like plush and nice. Another problem I have with this, I bought sweater quantity for this sweater and another sweater from Pearl Soho, and it's I can't remember the exact line, but I'll put it here. And it has alpaca in it, and I am finding that I do not like alpaca. It's too itchy for me, which is kind of odd because people love alpaca and they say that it's not itchy for them. So I don't know, maybe it's something else in the yarn, but I just think it's the alpaca. I don't know. I will say though that the more I wear this, the less itchy it feels to me. Also, this big chunky collar just like can really make me feel itchy. But yeah, I really Love this sweater. I love how baggy it is and comfy. And I feel like as far as the dupe goes, I think this one's pretty good. Here's my third sweater of the year. This is another dupe. It is a dupe for a Nikki Chasen cardigan. Which I also feel like this is pretty spot on, especially with the color. This is also from Pearl Soho, but this has no alpaca. I think it's called the Till. But I really like this. It's like a nice chunky yarn. And I think it looks really great as a finished object. I do like this one. I followed modifications from a person on Ravelry. Her name's Afmalara, I think. I'll tag her right here. But she added this detail on the shoulder and then also the slit to make it look like the Nikki Chasen. And now looking at this, I think it's funny that I made 3 cardigans in a row at the beginning of the year, and it kind of burnt me out from cardigans, but I did make 1 more in the year. That's coming up toward the end of the year. But yeah, as far as dupes go, I think this is another great one, and I'm really happy with how this one turned out. Okay, here is another Baba dupe. Oh, it's looking wrinkly right now. It's because I just took it on a trip, but this is a dupe for, maybe this is the 51. But I really wanted to buy this Baba and I decided I'll just make one. This is the Legs pullover by Ozetta, and this is the other. So these two are the same yarns from Pearl Soho. And this one feels a little bit itchier to me, but I do think, like I said with the other one, the more I wear it, I think the less itchy it's getting. The only modification I made on this one is the neck. I just wanted it to look like the Baba neck, and I had to do some trial and error. So what ended up working is I actually held the yarn double and went up a couple needle sizes and just did ribbing. I feel mixed about the collar. Like some days I really love it and some days I want to rip it out and just add a double folded collar. But I think this collar especially looks good when my hair's up. And it's just kind of fun. I don't know if other people like this kind of color, but I like it. Okay, we're now at the time of year for summer knits. So I think I made this in the spring. This is the Sicily slipover. And I actually haven't gotten much wear out of it, but I think it's pretty cute. When I was doing the gauge swatch, I was feeling like this is like McDonald's colors. And it kind of is, but I think it's kind of like a fun 70s vibe. Sorry, a lot of these are wrinkled because they've just been folded up in my closet. This is the first slipover I've ever made, and it actually really hurt my hands because the yarn is so small. I don't know if I want to make another project in fingering weight yarn, but this one turned out fun. It's kind of harder to style for me, is what I found. But I should probably try and wear it more because it's pretty cute and fun. This is another summer piece, and then I think what I found is I just love sweaters, and that's what I'm gonna get my the most wear out of. So I haven't worn either of these very much, but this is by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I can't remember exactly what pattern it is. And I used the Knitting for Olive silk. Is that what it's called? Just pure silk. I think this color looks good on me, but again, this top is kind of hard to wear because I don't want to wear like a bra under it. Well, it looks kind of silly with the shirt under it. I usually would wear it by itself, but it's kind of hard because the arms are so deep. I don't want to wear like a bra that you could see. So I usually just wear like pasties, but then it feels like really revealing, and I just like, I don't know. I think I wore it like once or twice this summer, and maybe I'll give this away to a friend at some point. So the next thing I made during the summer, and I actually brought it with us on a trip to Italy, and it is these beautiful socks. I think it's the Sunny Side Up socks by Summerly Knits. It's in one of her sock books. I was completely inspired by Hanan Bonet. She made these socks in almost the exact same colorway, and I really wanted a pair to myself. I don't love sock knitting, but the color work on this was really addicting, and it was really perfect to do during our trip. It was just like a small size, and then it was also perfect for like riding on the train or in our camper van that we rented. This is Cascade Heritage, the yarn, and it's pilling a lot, which is kind of unfortunate, but I've gotten quite a bit of wear out of these socks, so that's been good. I think my goal for next year is to knit more socks because I really enjoy having these, and they're great for like travel and summertime knitting. So I definitely want to make more socks in 2026. Okay, this is the first sweater I made in the fall time of 2025. And this one might be a flop for me. I thought I was really drawn to this colorway. This is the Lane Cloud yarn that's really popular, and this colorway is the most popular. And every time I saw it, I was like really drawn to it, and I was like, I love that colorway. I thought I really liked it. So I ordered it when it's usually hard to find this yarn, but I can't remember what website. It might be Mother Knitter carries it, and they're usually sold out, and I think they have it for the cheapest. So it came back in stock, and I ordered a bunch, and then for a long time, I was like trying to figure out the perfect pattern to use with it. And I ended up picking the Cloud sweater by Petite Knit, and I kind of feel like that was a mistake because something about the colors and this fit, like it just makes me not want to wear it that much. I might have made it too long for my liking, but I don't know what it is. Something about this I'm not like obsessed with. And so with this kind of self-striping yarn, there's different ways you can do this self-striping yarn. So with this one, since you knit the back and front separately, the stripes are going to be bigger at the top, and then once you join in the round, they get smaller. And when I was debating patterns, I thought that that's what I would want because I would want them to connect on this side. But now after owning this, I feel like I might like it better if it was in two separate pieces with the thicker stripes, and then you'd have to sew them together on this side and they wouldn't line up, but I think I might like that better. I don't know. I also have figured out that I personally like the colorway number, can't remember, but this is the colorway number, and I think I might like the colorway number better. So I might just try and sell this for the yarn. Someone could either buy this piece or just buy it for the yarn, and then I could buy the other yarn and make something out of it. Or maybe I'll just try and love this next year. I don't know. I'll see how much wear I get out of it in the next year. But for me, this one's kind of a flop. This one might be my favorite knit of the whole year. It's the Braidy loop sweater by Other Loops. If you're on knitting TikTok at all, this is pretty popular on Knit Talk, and Tori on TikTok got like everyone obsessed with this sweater. At least it feels like she was like the pioneer of this sweater. But this is in the recommended colorway on the pattern, so it's the Knitting for Olive Merino held with their soft silk mohair. And I was scared at first that it was going to be too white because I wanted it to look gray, and I think it does look gray. I love everything about this. I love the fit. I love this detail of the cable going across the back and down both arms. This was the first cable work I've ever done, and I really like it. I might make another Braidy loop in the future because I really love this piece. I've gone on 2 trips since I've made this, and I brought it on both because I just love it. It's like the perfect sweater. Like, it just is comfy and it's baggy and it goes with everything, so I love this. This next sweater is the Olga jacket by Petite Knit. And I made an Olga sweater last year, so it was only fitting that I got around to making an Olga jacket. I made a whole video about this a couple videos back if you want to watch that. But I picked up this yarn in Maine at a yarn store in Belfast called Heavenly Yarns. And I don't have a local yarn store where I live, so when I travel, I love to find a local yarn store to buy from. And this is the Rowan Kid Classic, which also has alpaca and does feel itchy to me, which is unfortunate. I overall really like this sweater. I'm glad that I was debating between the Olga sweater, the Frankie sweater, and the Olga jacket, and I'm really happy I ended up going with the Olga jacket. I just think with these colors, it looks really nice to have this split button band right here. It just looks nice. I also love that I did the red buttons that match the button band. So yeah, I really am happy with this. The yarn was Rowan Kid Classic, and it was very expensive. That's one thing I don't love about shopping at a local yarn store is hard to do the math for how much it's gonna be. And you get to the register and you're like, oh, okay, just take my money, whatever. I'm gonna act like it's none of my business what the price is. But this is I just think like this is an heirloom piece. I'm gonna have this forever, and it's also my hobby. So it's worth it to me to spend money on yarn, but it can hurt sometimes. Okay, now we're getting into the Christmas craze, the gift knitting craze. So my mom saw the sailor slippers online and she was like, I want to make these for my friends and sisters. I told her that I would help her with that and teach her to knit, which was fun. That was my last video if you want to see how that went. But we ended up making 9. I needed some for my friends too. So we ended up making 9 total pairs. My mom made 2 of them and I made 7, which is to be expected. It was her first time knitting, so takes a second, you know. But these are 2 of the pairs that I made. These are a pair that I'm keeping for myself, and these are a pair I'm giving to a friend. You've probably seen these slippers everywhere. They are really fun to have as a finished product, but after making 7, I never want to make another pair again. I'm kind of over it. Yeah, this is my pair. I love this colorway. All of the yarn we used was the Drop Snow, which is the recommended yarn, and it felted great. We didn't have that many felting issues. I've seen people that are like really struggling with the felting, but for us it was okay. My biggest gripe with this pattern is you knit like the top and then the bottom and then you sew it together. So there's these seams on the inside that are like pretty harsh and uncomfortable, and I don't love that. So that's my 2 cents on the sailor slipper pattern. This is the last thing I made, and to be honest with you, I finished it January 3rd. That's why I was waiting to make this video, but I wanted to include this because I worked on it most of December and I just wanted to wrap the year up on this last project. So this is the Winter's Pullover by Ozetta. It just finished blocking. I still haven't weaved in the ends because I wanted to see how it looked blocked, and then I also haven't bound off right here. It's just held by some scrap yarn. But yeah, after blocking, I think I really like it. And this was another Baba dupe. I wanted it to look Baba-esque, and I've never made this kind of collar. I think it's kind of fun to have a sweater with a collar like this. And I ended up making this it's supposed to be 8 inches, and I think I did 6.5 for this, which I think looks fine for me. I did the arms a little shorter too. I think I increased on every 4th row instead of every 5th. So that made the arms quite a bit shorter, but I wanted them to be more bracelet length instead of oversized like the pattern photos. So yeah, today I'm going to finish weaving in the ends and binding off on the collar, and it will be officially done. Usually I make sweaters a little bit shorter, but this one's longer and I think it looks good. This sweater is a little bit out of my comfort zone because I don't typically wear colors this dark, and then also I don't wear things this long, but I just wanted like a big, comfy, cozy sweater, and I think this fits the bill pretty well. I used Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino, which I love the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino. I think it's like, it feels rustic, but it doesn't feel like itchy. But I do think it's not a thick enough yarn for what I like. Like, I love how this one is like so thick and plush looking, and it's like you can like really squeeze it, and this is just like a much thinner material. So that's my 2 cents on that. I don't know if it makes sense. Oh wait, I have one more thing that I made that I forgot about. I can't believe I almost forgot, but I made this sweater for my husband. It's a My Favorite Things knitwear pattern. Story with this is I got this yarn from a thrift store. It's a superwash yarn, which I don't love superwash, but I wanted a navy sweater and there was a ton of this yarn, so I bought it. And I started this sweater for myself, but it ended up being like so big and oversized that I gave it to my husband. And I think this is like a good gift knit to give because since it's superwash, it's not itchy at all and it can be washed in the washing machine. So I gave this to my husband, and it's the first sweater I've ever made for him, and it's really cute. It's not really in his style to wear sweaters, but he does get quite a bit of wear out of this, and I also love that I can wear it too. We can share it. Can't believe I almost forgot this one. And then I also made this beanie that I'm going to give to my friend for a Secret Santa that we do in January. So I also made this. This is like my own beanie pattern. I could share that if you want it. And then it's just yarn. I think it's drops. Can't remember what drops. But yeah, that's everything I made. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 sweaters. 4 of those are cardigans. 5 are pullovers. 1 slipover, 1 1 summer tank top, 7 slippers, 1 pair of socks, and 1 beanie. Which I feel like is a lot. I spend a lot of time knitting. With this being my 2nd year knitting, I now have so many sweaters and cardigans for myself that I'm starting to get to a point where I like don't really need anymore, or I'm having a hard time picking patterns because I just feel like I already have a lot of sweaters. So I don't know what 2026 will bring, but I still have the knitting bug, and I'm sure I'll be knitting all year. Maybe it'll be more socks, maybe more accessories, maybe more gift knits. I don't know, but I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. And I also just started the Dagmar jacket by Petite Knit, and I'm so excited about it. It's my first like all over cable work sweater. So subscribe if you want to see what I make in 2026. I like making vlog style videos. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Bye.